Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Wayne's World Garage. Today we're going to try and put up some of these trusses. Some of you might ask, well, why didn't you just have the trusses unloaded at the field where we're building this building? Well, the problem is, if the truck doesn't have four-wheel drive, there's going to be some drama. You've got to run through some horse gates. That could provide drama. Mr. Ed might escape. So it turns out it's probably easier for me to load these on my trailer, drive the tractor and the trailer into where we're building this thing, and then put them up that way. So we have to start off here by taking these trusses, hopefully I can lift them up with my tractor, and put them on my trailer, and then transport them over to where we're building this thing here. So that's a story here.
Go lower.
Now, for any of you who have ever operated a tractor or a forklift, this is a little bit more difficult than it looks. And here's the dealio. If you've got a skid steer or a forklift, you can see the forks. And if you look at me, look at my head, look where the forks are, you can't flip and see them. And it's not just this John Deere tractor, it happens with every tractor. The problem is you've got a hood, which is so long, you got forks, and the forks you really can't see because the hood blocks them. So it really is helpful to have a helper to give you some direction of how to do things here. Otherwise, you'll be stabbing at the pallets all day long, which is kind of like what I do most of the time. Okay, one of the really nice, cool features of this H&H aluminum trailer, not a sponsor, is it has removable fenders. And they're just two little clips, you pop them up, and the fenders come off. The fenders probably weigh 10 pounds each, so you don't want to hit them, but it certainly makes it a whole lot easier when you're loading things up with a forklift and stuff like this. You can do it easily, no damage. So I pop them off all the time. It takes less than 30 seconds per side. Alrighty. You may want, yeah, I don't know how, pay attention to the wheels. So after being told this about 20 times, I finally smartened up, and you can see on a trailer we put some 4x4s underneath the load, and that way I can easily get the forks under it, and we can load things up. Brilliant idea. I didn't think of it. I should have been doing it a long time ago.
A little forward. A little forward. Stop. Perfect.
Alright, now I got the trusses loaded up. The next step though is to make sure I bring my ballast. The tractor's got loaded tires, and that means it has beet juice or something in them to make them heavy. You still, when you're using forklifts like this, you need some weight in the back of the tractor. You need your lawnmower there, something with some weight to give some leverage so your front axles don't take all the load. So we've got this concrete weight we put in the back, but I need to bring it up to the field with me. So we'll load this up on a trailer, drag it up there, and be good to go.
I didn't know it. Okay, so if you see that happen,
So I didn't know it. I saw that you were.
If you, no worries, just put the boards on it so I can fix it. Don't tell me what you. Stop making. Tell me why you didn't do it. Because I didn't do it either. I didn't see it. So.
Well, what I saw was the fork was lined up with the same mark as it was before.
No worries.
There was a gouge in the bottom rafter, and the
And
fork.
this one needs to come out so I can get under it, please. Good. Just push that one out a foot or so, and then let your fingers. Once I have it on your stable, it will be all right. You ready? Fingers. Get over here, I can see you. You can help. Your job is to
Okay, well here's the first big test of the tractor and trying to make it lift up these trusses. And the real question is, I know the top of my boom pole on my front end loader mount here will go up about 14 or 15 feet. Trusses are like 4.5 feet high. So we'll see if it clears the rafters. I believe it will. So let's let it rip and see what happens.
But I think we can slide it because it's going to ride right on that. Okay. But if I turn it so we point it in so we don't catch any of those. Can you lower it? Yes. And I'll point it.
So this is about it. That's the maximum height of my boom pole. And it barely clears white oak headers we put up last week. But it clears them enough. It kind of ticks a little bit of my Simpson ties, but we don't break them off or bend them over. So it seems to work okay, I think.
There's no weight.
So this seems to be working swimmingly well. Alan's doing a great job, and thank you for your help. But it would help to have one more man here, which we have a little bit later. But Alan's got to jump back and forth between, the posts to get these things onto the Simpson ties and screwing them down. But he gets her done.
One to the left. All right, now we got to shift it this way. Bending plate is right in the way.
And what I didn't think of, I don't know how we're going to get the chain off there.
Yeah, well, it'll come down a bit. I think that taller ladder is better.
Yeah.
But this mending plate is right in the way of the screw hole.
But I think, I think put one or two screws in, and then, can't imagine it's going so far.
So what makes this a little bit complicated is the front end loader on the tractor is not designed for lifting boom poles up 15 feet in the air. So the hydraulics are a little bit twitchy. So we have to go really careful and kind of slowly here. So if you wonder why, man, why don't you hurry up and get it in gear? We're trying to, but I don't want to drop the truss on Alan's head because he'd probably go home or get mad at me or something like that. So it's a little bit of a delicate operation. Regardless, it does work, and it's better than doing it by hand, I think.
How would you want it to be this thing too? But it's going to lower. Yeah. But I'm going to start it up because I have to probably back up while I lower it. Huh? Just lower some?
Yeah, just lower it. Because I think there's enough play. You may even
It's
come
going
forward.
to. Oh, okay.
All right, come down. As I measured, and this bottom piece is exactly 16,
Yes.
and they're 16 apart.
Yes. So the question is, how unstable is it?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
If
I
you
hear-
didn't bring clamps, did you?
No, I did not. But you know, I've got plenty of 2x4s.
Yeah, I got a 2x4 we can.
Yeah. I
cover
mean,
it.
I would almost maybe I'll put a 2x4 up there to,
Well, I was even thinking,
or I could put a couple. Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Too. Yep, exactly. Hey, move this out of the way. Get rid of the ladder.
I want to put in screws on the other
Yes.
side.
Yep. Yep. And let me.
And once we get the second one up, we can brace it
Right.
easier.
Right.
Yeah, you can go either way actually with these.
Okay.
Because now I got to reach over to put the screws in.
Right. Right.
So clearly the boom pole mounted to the front end loader of the tractor works for putting these trusses up. So that's a good thing. That way we don't need to struggle too much. Alan and I ended up getting 6 of the trusses up this afternoon, and it kind of worked out pretty well. It's a whole thing's a learning experience because we've never done it and we're not real carpenters. We're not even fake carpenters or pretend to be carpenters. But the one mistake we made at first is we put the truss up and we didn't level it perfectly, and we put like the 5 of the screws and these Simpson ties on either side of it. So we put all these screws in, and it turns out the Simpson ties are extraordinarily strong. Maybe that's why they call them hurricane ties, because they're for a hurricane. So when we had all the screws in them, you couldn't level the truss. If it's off by 5 degrees, it's going to stay off by 5 degrees. So what we ended up doing, and maybe everybody already knows this, we sure as heck didn't, you have to take all the screws out really and level the thing up. Maybe put 1 screw on either side, which is what we do, down low, level it, then put all the screws in. And that's kind of the way to do it. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Is there a thumbs down thing on there? I don't know. Don't give it a thumbs down. Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. We appreciate you all watching this. More to come. Take care and have a good day.
See, I got it.
So, there you go. Now, you know what? I think I have a shorter chain. It might be easier.
That's it till next time. Thanks for watching another episode of Wayne's World Garage.